Hello, everyone. I'm back with Mike Poeltl, author of Revelations. And actually, we should do some of the workup. I neglected to say how a person get a hold of your books. Obviously, you can come to the library and borrow some. But how can a person purchase or obtain a copy for themselves, Mike?
Well, the trilogy is now available on Amazon in both paperback and digitally. It's also available through Smashwords digitally, the Chapters and Indigo websites, and on my own website, www.thejudassyndrome.com.
Okay. Those are digital copies. Can it get print as well?
Yeah, they
from
can get
Amazon,
print
is it?
From Amazon, yeah.
Yeah,
Paperback,
I thought so.
yeah.
Because the library has a third one in order. I don't believe it's arrived yet, but it will.
Okay.
And people can reserve it from the catalog.
Super.
And eventually, I think you were talking about getting all three as one volume.
Yeah, I want to do a compilation. I've created a new artwork for it and everything. So I'm doing that right now with Amazon CreateSpace.
Okay.
It's, you do everything over your computer. You can do it all.
Okay. Actually, do you mind a little sort of sidestep to talk about that process
Sure.
for the listeners?
Yeah, not at all.
Is it a frustrating process?
It can be.
Yeah.
You really need to have some technical knowledge. But they try to make it as easy as they can. It just can be very frustrating, yes.
Yeah.
But it's worth it in the end. You get your hard copy of your books.
That's
It's
right.
good fun.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you went that route right from the beginning.
I did, yeah.
Okay. And have
Yeah.
you learned anything over the three volumes? It's been more than 3 years, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
it has, yeah. But yeah, no, the 3 volumes, I've grown as an author as well as a writer. Certainly doing the self-publishing process and marketing myself and everything else, it's absolutely a big learning curve.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a whole new world out there, even from my point of view in the library of trying to find new books. Sure, I've got my mainstream publishers to consult and buy from.
Right.
But more and more, I'm wondering, how do I find those people who are doing their own thing somewhere out there in the internet?
A great resource is Goodreads.
Yes.
Goodreads
yes.
is a fabulous forum for authors and readers.
I've actually been wanting to know a little bit more about that. So when you publish, do you submit your book to them and people review it?
Essentially you build your own profile as an author, and then you put your books up through the Amazon links. And yeah, there's reviews and suggestions and contests, lists and groups and forums.
Okay.
You can join as an author into forums like I would join an apocalyptic forum, say, for apocalyptic reads.
Right.
That's how I find my base readers.
And the reviews, how do you find them? Are they valuable? Like you could go in there, find a book, and trust the review that this is going to steer you in the right direction?
Very much so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that can be a little blunt sometimes?
They can be, yeah.
Okay.
They're not always perfect, but it's
Okay.
not always what you want. But
Yeah.
at the same time, they're honest, and that's good enough.
Well, I hate to say, but that's what I'm looking for as a librarian, is I want a place to go that I'm going to feel confident that I'm getting a true picture of what this is. I may still want to buy something that's a little rough because we have to invest in our new authors. How else are they going to develop if they don't get their words out there?
Fair enough, yeah.
Right. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to go back to the book.
Sure.
A little bit more, because you brought up so many big questions, the impermanence and the destiny and free will. And I think that ties through all 3.
Yeah, no, that's the fun part about actually tying them all together and using the different characters to tell the same story, in a sense that where the destiny of Joel is left on Leaf's shoulders, his son. So the idea of free will and destiny, they sort of clash, right?
Yes.
I mean, destiny is destiny. How do you have free will? So that's sort of the inner conflict with
It
all
is.
the characters
Yes.
in the end.
And I think for many readers who want to come to this sort of fiction, want to have a glimpse of that. Some of that was discussed with the other character, Father Henderson.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he represented that. So you have a lot of characters doing different points of view, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's fun too, to share them all, as many as you can, right? And do it in a thoughtful way.
Okay, so now we've just discussed destiny and free will. Well, let me grapple with that for a moment. The destiny and the free will, I can see impermanence from the Buddhist teachings. I'm not sure I'm quite understanding the destiny and free will from the Buddhist teachings.
Yeah, and I don't think you would. I mean, destiny, it's just a concept that we as humans sort of
Right.
developed ourselves, I think. Like many religions, maybe we created them. So I think that it's a matter of just researching them and understanding them and hoping that you can, put it into dialogue and make it make sense and leave the reader with the questions for themselves.
Again, that is one of the things I like about exploratory fiction like science fiction is, show me a picture, give me a little bit of ideas, and let me go away and figure that out for myself.
Right, yeah. We all want to think, right? We all want to mull it over.
Yes.
I didn't want to give anyone,
The answer.
the answer. Yeah, I don't have the answer.
There you go.
What
There
do
you
I
go.
know?
Yeah, that's right. So none of us have the answer. We're all trying to come. And I
Right.
think that, again, who challenges a person, I said this earlier, why did you choose this path? And that's a good question for a person to ask themselves every now and then, just to step back.
Yep, absolutely. Consider consequences to your actions. If everyone considered the consequences to their actions, they probably wouldn't act as often as they do. And
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder for myself, how did I get here?
Yeah.
I think back where I started and then, how did I get here being a librarian?
yeah,
Really
absolutely.
interesting.
You ask yourself the big
Yep.
questions.
And I think it was free will, but you know what? There are so many things that happened along the way that I didn't control that I have to wonder about that destiny.
There you go. Yep. Yep.
So those are some of the questions I liked. The other thing I liked throughout your books, all three of them, the lovely foreboding that you do. You'll come to the end of a chapter or whatnot, and you'll just slip in this lovely little line and think, oh! And,
Okay.
well, that's going to come up later.
Yeah, good.
That's a neat little technique.
Yeah, no, keep them
Keep them hooked.
hooked. Yeah, that's important for sure.
And how about the technique of finishing up a third novel? You didn't have to do something which I've seen in some others, which is do a lot of repeating to get the readers up to speed if they missed the first three or if it's been a couple of years since they read it. You did a little bit of that.
Yeah,
But-
I revisited a little bit.
Yeah. But you also managed to keep some of the same, you alluded to Leaf's Scar, for example. Did you have to reread the other ones as you were writing the third one?
It doesn't hurt. Yeah, I read them both a couple of times throughout my writing. I'm not very linear in my writing. I write scenes that will happen in the future,
Oh,
and then I
really?
write a scene that happened in the past, and the big edit is trying to put them all together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it does get messy.
It does get messy, yeah. As much as I have a timeline for things, I stop writing a certain timeline and I jump into another one because it just pops in my head. And I do a lot of automatic writing too, and so that's another big edit.
Automatic writing. What is that? That's
Just like, just sitting down and I have an idea for a scene and I just start writing it and I don't know that it's just pouring out of me, which is great.
yeah.
That's fun.
Years ago, there was an author who visited our library, a mystery writer, and I'm embarrassed to say I can't remember his name, but someone asked him, where do you get ideas? He says, I don't know, because they just run down my arm and go onto the page.
Right, exactly.
Sounds like that for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just come out.
Yeah.
All right, so now, let me think of what else I would like to do. Leadership. This was also a theme, I think, through all of the three novels. And that is why Joel, I think, struggled with his destiny versus free will, was the idea of leadership.
Right. Book one, Joel's one of his biggest downfalls was the fact that he was chosen to lead and really wasn't prepared. Or he's a leader for gentler times, probably, than faced with an apocalyptic end and friends that are counting on him. Whereas Sarah in the second book took up a leadership of her own to protect her child and made her decisions and lived with them. And Leaf, again, not unlike his father, questioning his own ability to lead. The leadership definitely comes up, and then Earl being,
Yes.
Predestined to lead in his own way.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, actually, the leadership one was one that was tough because when I was reintroduced to Earl in this third book, I thought, oh, he's still here. Ooh.
Yeah.
But it was such a blatant foil to Leaf's, and I realized, oh, wow, well, Leaf isn't saying he's a leader, but he is kind of doing that. The two different techniques are startling.
Yeah, they play well off each other.
Shall we leave the readers with a little reading from Earl?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay. I want to thank you, Mike, for making the travel all the way here. I know you come from Hamilton, and I appreciate that. Thank you for coming, and we'll leave this for the readers.
Thanks so much. This is it. I inhale deeply, sucking in the rotten scent of the dead trees. Its slick floor is thick with mud as the rain falls hard at a 45-degree angle. I had hoped to attack yesterday evening as the sun set, blinding their watchtowers as we approached from the west. But a driving rain would suffice for cover now. Rain is all we've seen for the past 3 days, and my army has become demoralized. It's now or never. I'm not sure that I believe in destiny, but I know I was always meant to lead. Desperation breeds a need for stability, for leadership. In these uncertain times, if you are not a leader of men, you are nothing. I have little respect for those who would follow, and am comfortable labeling them expendable. It's good to be king. Lead with fear, and respect will follow. These people have lost everything, their families, their friends, and their self-respect. It is easy to lead a people so devastated. They are already fearful for their lives and the lives of those they love. They are starving and have no direction or purpose except to stay alive. So you bring that fear back, the fear of loss, of death. What do I have to offer? Purpose for one, protection in numbers and governance, something many of them remember from before the bombs. People want to be ruled. They want to be told they're doing a good job and that they are giving back to their community. They want to know there's a reason to go on, and that reason is the promise of something better. And that something is a base, packed with food, water, energy, and shelter. When rallied, a group feeds off its leader and off each other, and with the promise of salvation, they will follow you to hell. But promises expire, and I see my army is restless. The time is now. What I've worked towards all these years is now upon me. My great purpose awaits to be fulfilled. Under a rudimentary tent of tarps tied securely to 4 tree trunks, I meet with my generals. Your teams are ready, I ask them, my voice rising to be heard above the rat-a-tat-tat of rain slamming into the taut tarp. The 4 men nod in unison. Jonah, the oldest of my generals and approximately 20 years my senior, speaks up. I'm worried our plan won't work in this weather. I glare at him. This is not our plan. This is my plan. And if I say it will work, who are you to question that? Jonah steps back and straightens. I meant no disrespect. Does your team share your concern? I circle the 4 men. No. As he says this, I can smell the fear on him. Good. I like that. This is no time to be making examples of my general. I stop to face Jonah. Do the rest of you feel my plan is flawed? No, sir, they ring in. I keep my gaze on Jonah. You see, Jonah, you are wrong to be worried. I see that now, he avoids my stare. Good. Good, then we will proceed as planned. Recall the scouts.
You've been listening to Shelf Life, news from the Whitchurch Stouffville Public Library. For more information about library programs and services, check out our website at www.whitchurch-library.on.ca, or you can call the library at 905-642-7323 or toll free at 1-888-603-4292. Or why not visit the library in person at 30 Burkholder Street in Stouffville?